Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Marco Hernandez and I'm accompanied by my animator Lucas Webb. We are here to present the present and upcoming fossil fuels crisis. We use a lot of energy in our daily life, from driving our cars, heating our homes, and to power all of our luxuries such as phones, televisions, and computers, and most of the energy comes from fossil fuels. In just transporting goods and people around the world, the US gets 95% of the energy to do so from fossil fuels. Now you might be thinking, what's the problem with using all these fossil fuels? There are two answers to that question. The first is that our supply of fossil fuels is going downhill, and the second is that we're killing our own environment by using so many of these fuels. Let's tackle the first problem. We are running out of fossil fuels. Now these fuels consist of coal, gasoline, and oil. These fuels are derived from ancient fossils of past organisms and the oils they contained. Since we get these fuels from ancient organisms, we can't reuse them, and there's a finite amount to go around. And with our rapid usage of fossil fuels as the human population expands into the billions, scientists predict we have about 100 years before we run out of all fossil fuels. Reaching this point would be devastating to our civilization, as we are very dependent on our usage of fossil fuels to advance to the future, leading to our second problem. They are harming us and we need to replace them before they get rid of us. But Marco, how exactly are they hurting us? Well, thanks for asking that, amigo. They hurt us by producing CO2 at a crazy amount that the Earth can't handle well. The Earth needs CO2 to keep itself warm, yes, but with all the surplus amount of CO2 coming out of cars, factories, and cities, we are overheating the Earth, contributing a lot to global warming. Marco, you haven't even explained how CO2 heats us up. Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. The way Earth gets its heat is obviously from the sun. The Earth and its atmosphere absorbs 71% of the heat coming off the sun and reflects 29% to keep itself nice and warm. While the CO2 being produced, however, less energy is reflected as CO2 trapped in the energy and heats us up, as we can see in the Arctics. By the year 2100, NASA predicts that the world will have warmed anywhere from 2 degrees to 6 degrees Celsius. To put this into more perspective, this is 35.6 degrees to 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit warmer. How do we prevent our own world from burning up? Well, on one hand, keeping fossil fuels is great for our advancement as a civilization, but deadly to our environment. On the other hand, without fossil fuels, the Earth could heal itself, but humanity would suffer as we would lose our main energy source. A way to kill two birds with one stone would be to switch up fuels, more specifically to biofuels. Biofuels are basically what the name suggests. Bio meaning living organism, and fuel meaning organisms can be converted into fuel. What this technology allows us to do is create a fuel which is renewable and far safer for the environment. Biofuels consist of ethanol, biodiesel, and green diesel, which all reduce CO2 emissions drastically. With these fuels, we could cut down on CO2 in the atmosphere drastically, as they also inhale CO2 and make it into oxygen. Me and my partner Lucas decided to take on the challenge and make our own biodiesel using algae as our main biomass. Sadly, we weren't able to do it as we lack resources and experience, but we were able to find an ethanol station near us, and we were able to get about a gallon full just to test out if it worked. So, in the end, we should probably say goodbye to the fossil fuels before they say goodbye to us, and welcome in the new green solution, biofuels.